57, 57. Both are prime, but the combo is not. Am I in my prime? Is there still enough time? What does it mean to turn 57? I gotta change things up. It's Friday night, December 30. Tonight I'm feeling a little dirty. 2 weeks to 57. Target pushes an ad for ladies' underwear. Do I want a pair for myself? Switch it up, a new bottom game? Hell no. I want to do this for so long. I'm gonna buy myself a thong. Tap, 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 I'm in the app. Why just one when the deal's for 5? All of a sudden I'm feeling alive. Such a rush for just 15 bills. Just get the start of some feminine thrills. Tomorrow I'll know if all this feels wrong. Tonight I'm excited. I just bought 5 thongs. I thought that purchase would lead me on a new journey to explore an old kink for ladies' lingerie. I've always loved the look of lingerie. Peeping in catalogs since my teens. What's this mean? Can I finally admit I want to dress up my curves? Give over the nerves. Let myself be the sexy object of my desire. I needed to tell my wife. Past secrets have become toxic. I needed to come clean right away. Understandably, the revelation shocked her. I swear, other than the lingerie, this urge to wear women's clothing is new. I've never felt this way. And I promise I won't be seen outside of the house until I have a refined look with clothing, makeup, and wig. My wife abruptly left the room, in motion not to follow. A pit formed in my stomach. She returned, holding a pistachio green dress. For me? It flows down my sides and the length's perfect. How'd you know it would fit? Trying on the dress was my gateway drug to gender euphoria. Oh my God, the chest hair. Honey, I'll be in the bathroom for the next 2 hours. Every bit of body hair has to go. My kink no longer repressed. Will I get obsessed with garters and corsets and tight black fishnets, wear satin and lace, and make up my face in my personal space for only me to enjoy? Tonight, an epiphany, I realize that wearing lingerie will limit her need to emerge. This trans femme persona who's on the verge of something much bigger than my bedroom. Enter Alisha, who is singularly keen on buying dresses and tights to be worn and be seen. That night, wearing the dress, I came out to my 2 sons and shared that I wanted to be called Alisha when I dressed them. Both of them queer, they readily accepted this change. Alisha, you must come to San Francisco. I'll plan a drag everything weekend. I hear the LGBTQ Center has a weekly Zoom meeting for trans newbies like you. Several weeks in, my wife noted my growing joy and would later say she saw the genie come out of the bottle and knew it wasn't going back in. I relinquished my privacy for her feminine supremacy, to give her agency to determine what's best for me. This is not about kink. It's more about pink. T-shirts and shoes. Listen, here's the news. 3 weeks on this journey, I'm out to the world. Part masculine girl, part feminine boy. Either way, there's great joy. Now she's switching out my polo shirts for blouses and skirts, and I love the new feel that my shoes all have heels, some purchased on Amazon so I can dress like the Amazon warrior I was meant to be. Alisha is radiant, happy, and free. This is all about clothing, makeup, and hair. Thoughts bubble up, and I'm no longer scared. I look in the mirror, and WTF. I see MTF, and I'm loving it. Alisha unleashed on race to reveal my true feminine self. This is oh so surreal. Yet these intense feelings I cannot fight. Instead, I choose to run towards the light. In February, I came out to my 86-year-old mom as I was driving her to a doctor's appointment. Mom, I know you don't want to talk about your surgery. You want to hear about my lunch last week with my high school buddies? What do you mean? Did I tell them what I'm doing? Mom, it's more than wearing women's clothing. I'm transgender. Huh? I don't want to do that? Actually, I do. Mom, I understand it's hard to transition at my age. And yes, going on hormones and having surgery will take a physical toll. And I'm fully aware as a trans woman I might lose my job. But this is about me being happy. You're basing your fears on right-wing stereotypes. I'm not ready to talk about surgery. I'm shutting this conversation down now. I don't need this negative energy before I leave for San Francisco tomorrow. Yeah, I understand you're worried I might be ruining my life. This is my best life. I have yet to buy a garter or a camisole. But these feelings are strong, rocking my soul. I am transgender. I can no longer deny. To come out at this time, I still don't know why. With clarity, one thing's for sure. It was never about the lingerie. Has your life ever turned on a dime after making one small change? Have you ever forced a conversation with your spouse worried it could go terribly wrong? Have you ever felt like your foundation's cracking? It's 3 a.m., February 24th this year. I'm 45 days into a journey I didn't know I was meant to take. It's an ungodly hour and I'm still wide awake. Closed down the bars, went back to my hotel. I should be off to bed, but oh, what the hell? Away from my wife, I'm standing before this beautiful woman whom I didn't know I was meant to meet. Oh, I know what you're thinking. This guy's just another cheat. Her 4-inch wedge heels placed on the floor. Her Ferragamo clutch dropped near the door. I take a look in the mirror and I feel my heart race. That angelic hair, that beautiful face. I'm enthralled by her sultry voice, strained from talking over the barroom cacophony all night long. I'm enamored with the colorful choice of a purple dress and white pearls, too elegant for this small, ill-lit room. I'm enraptured by her radiant smile, outlined by faded lipstick and energizing the air. I'm entranced by her elegant style as our eyes lock in an unending stare. If this sounds like adultery, the tale gets more sultry. I declare, I never want this night to end. Please think about your wife. Does your marriage need this strife? Some actions you just can't defend. Yet I'm in the room alone with just an image on my phone. You think she's an imaginary friend. You couldn't be farther from the truth. There's nothing sordid about this moment. She's real, her presence intense. After the first 45 days of courtship, I've only caught glimpses of her. But today, I shed all pretense. This beautiful she is a transformation of me who's been in my soul all along. As I let her reign free, I'm now meant to be feminine, prideful, and strong. This day started with a makeover. The night ends with a do-over of a life that's lived 57 years in one incarnation. Moreover, tonight my egg cracked, and I can never go back because I have some new information. Alicia's outward beauty exceeds my expectation, but doesn't come close to matching the inner light she's graced upon me these past 6 weeks. I'm not just coming out female, I'm coming out happy. I'm filled with self-love, I fill others with joy, I'm radiant with pride. So come along for the ride. As I'm building a better me, whose pronouns are her, hers, and she. Yeah. My son delivered on the Queer as Fuck weekend. We were in San Francisco. We did drag bingo, drag brunch, and drag melodrama. I booked Maria, a makeup artist with 20 years experience who specialized in male to female transformation makeovers. My son came along to photograph and document the entire 6-hour session. Afterwards, we celebrated, bar hopping all night long with his friends in the Castro. At 2 a.m., I returned to my hotel room. You're breathtaking. I never thought I could look so beautiful with just makeup. But you're as beautiful on the outside as I feel on the inside. I literally don't want this night to end. After I take off the makeup, how long will it be before I see you? Months? Years? I don't have any makeup skills. I don't want to see you go. Again. Wearing the new underwear was just tip of the iceberg. Okay, I'll admit it. This kink wasn't new. I'd been playing my wife's lingerie drawer for years. Each time I indulged in the transgression, the initial thrill of the ecstasy quickly morphed into shame and long bouts of remorse. The first time, that time, this time, without shame, the guilty pleasure turned into something much deeper. I was ready to take the bold step and fully dress as a woman. I could no longer deny my truth. My egg had cracked. I left San Francisco wanting to live as Alisha full time. I started to deliberately lean to things that brought me joy, running towards the light. Honey, I'd like to be fully out at work by the end of April. It's awkward that some coworkers know and others don't. Are you okay with that? My wife's response was, you be you. It became her mantra, her way of tipping her hat that she didn't want to kill my joy, even as the secure life she knew started crumbling beneath her feet. I promise we'll talk before I come out to extended family and our longtime friends. Neither of us is ready for that. In mid-April, as I prepared to reintroduce myself as Alisha to an in-person leadership meeting, just one question loomed. Am I passing? Time is passing, passing, passing. So slowly I think I can watch the growing grass. And I wonder, what does it mean to pass? Time is passing, passing, passing. For years I've passed time, day by day, too much work and not much play, passing months, passing hours, feeling listless, unempowered. Pessimism made me sour, eschewing sunsets and fragrant flowers. All this privilege, yet often mad. Income and assets don't stave off sad. Not depressed, feeling drab. And all along, time was passing, passing, passing. Have you ever felt like you're going through the motions of life without purpose? I've lived my whole life as one big lie. I was always a girl, but presented as a guy. Now I'm ready to come out. In fact, I'm ready to shout. I'm a beautiful, vibrant woman. As I walk about, others make me doubt. I'm passing, passing, passing. Inexplicably, I felt at peace. More than anything, I just wanted to find a little bit of happiness. You're a girl with a beard, isn't that kind of weird? Your voice is a bass, it doesn't match your made-up face. Your boobs are fake, you've got no hips. And without Botox in your lips, how can you be passing, passing, passing? Late 2022 marked a long slide toward apathy that started years earlier and accelerated during COVID. Just going through the motions, I internalized my misery, but refused to dig deeper. Outwardly, I acted as if nothing were wrong. My brothers and sisters, does passing mean perfection? Because after reflection, I see an infection caused by the intersection of cishet norms and cultural storms, when toxin forms in our brains that we are not good enough. A November MRI found spots of interest. If I feel I can't pass, it starts a tailspin, and I box myself into a standard of thin and unblemished skin, only wearing what's in with a plastered-on grin. In late December, I was scheduled for my second prostate biopsy in a little over 2 years. What if passing's a standard I can never attain? Is it all this in vain? Am I relegated to the pain of living in the wrong body for several more years, compounding my fears that I will never live the life I was meant to have? No! Hell no! It's me who dictates my best self. I decide if I'm clocked or self. I reclaim my mental health. Play the best with the hand I'm dealt. Do I pass or double down? Fix on a wig and don a gown? Flip a smile from a frown, live it up, go out to town. But wait, sorry. For 6 weeks, I convinced myself that I had cancer and started weighing the treatment risks, including the loss of sexual function. Would that translate into losing my manhood? Would that matter? But wait. Herein lies my power, every minute, every hour. I'm 57 in my prime, my trans self redefined as a woman so divine, my love for self so sublime, now internally aligned, never again just passing time. If I wait to be passing, I deny myself living the authentic life that I have the right to decide for myself. Yes, hell yes. I decide for myself and you for yourself, and we are our best selves, being heard, being seen as we are. Perfection not required. I don't have time for others to decide if I'm passing, because right now I'm focused on living, living, living. encouragement, fear, rejection, hinder, success, transition, intrinsic, happiness, transformation, partner, discomfort, separation. Can't we give it a little more time? I've become the best version of myself. I've gotten rid of all my negativity and pessimism. Yet, the more light I shine, the more I feel like you're slipping away. The more light I shine, the more I sense you're in a dark place. The more light I shine, when I reach out, you pull away. It's hard, I get it. This is so fucking hard. It's moving so fast. I get it. Breathe. Right. Perform. Transformation. When I'm wearing a dress, how do you address me? The world's changed. I know it's strange. When I'm wearing a dress, do you address me as a she? It's a personal choice. Some conform, others go freeform, but leave your opinions unformed on something that's personal to me. When I wear a dress, I want to be addressed by the pronouns I have chosen. Not by your opinions or your prejudices, not by your political slants or your sideways glance, again judging me when all I'm trying to do is my best. When I wear a dress, I invest in myself the respect I deserve as a gender I'm meant to be. Does that make you less free? Because in America, if I impinge on your freedom, that might be a crime. Yet here in my dress, I'm the oppressed, not you. As I look back at 2023, I'm struck by my bravery, forging forward full throttle while around the country, state legislatures passed scores of anti-trans bills. My response was to put it into my poetry. Is this about the bathrooms? Because your mind will be blown if you've ever flown. You've been using gender-neutral bathrooms for ages! And yet you rage. Does that drop your jaw? Well, here's the flaw. When I gotta pee, I'm not really free to decide where I go. I freeze in my tracks. And I do all the math, and I have to fear wrath just to do a simple biological task. I build up my gumption and head for a stall. Did I make the right call? Will this choice be my fall? Because you have the gall to want to beat the shit out of me every time I go pee? How will you address me when I'm wearing a dress? As I watch loving families torn apart by those who hate and make trans kids wards of state while their legislative slate lacks legitimate debate. Only mongering dark fears tuned to fascist-leaning ears, harking back the good old years when racism, homophobia, and misogyny were accepted white male standards. As October 2024 approached, I started to feel uneasy. The vitriol against trans folk was attracting voters. On November 5th, my greatest fear came to fruition. We elected a brazen authoritarian who used dehumanizing rhetoric to describe people like me. How will you constrain me when I'm wearing a dress? Will you throw me in jail while your dictator rails? There's no doubt he will fail. My initial reaction was to formulate a series of contingencies, including a plan to leave the country. I had the resources to live a frugal life in exile, but something felt wrong. My writing revealed a hard truth. Leaving was the equivalent of erasing myself, silencing my own voice in a far-off land. That was my former self speaking. Because trans freedom is not an affliction or perverted addiction. From the binary we elope as beacons of hope, here to spread love, not cause friction. The female warrior in me chose to crank up the volume. I recognized this was a moment I was born to step into. How should you address me when I'm wearing a dress? How about with respect that my gender care does not need to be snared in the crossfire of politics? In a nation obsessed with vanity, it's utter insanity that someone will restrict plastic surgery only for trans young adults. Here's their claim. The undeveloped brain of those under 25 can't possibly decide what's best for themselves. But a bro on IG is perfectly free to get all surgery just to reinvent himself? For us, it's not being vain. It's living daily in pain with nothing more to gain than a bit less dysphoria. But Susie Q on TikTok can increase the size of her flock, and no senator will block her right to big tits and euphoria. So when you take our kids and then block our care, you create further despair, make life harder to bear, which is gross and unfair to a group that's prone to suicide. Mine wasn't the typical trans experience in America. Most of the trans folk I came into contact with, either at in-person meetups or on Reddit forums, were living in fear. In July, Mom joined me at the San Diego Poetry Slam, where I premiered How Do You Address Me When I'm Wearing a Dress. Mom's got After witnessing the crowd's embrace and watching as two fangirls lovingly approached me afterwards, Mom gushed about her experience. Mom, that's what I call the crowd's energy. It's like they feel my light and project it back to the stage. This is what I love about performing. No, I didn't know those ladies. Complete strangers being completely kind. Mom, I'm proud of you too. I know it's hard to stop using my birth name after all these years. You've come such a long way since that car ride in February, roaring at me like a mama bear. This is my best life. I risked everything. I ruined nothing. Acceptance is a powerful force, especially when it comes from our parents. It allowed me to summon the courage to dive deeper in my past and process some lingering darkness in my life. My Father who art in heaven, I absolve you. But why did you befriend him? You couldn't have known. Predators prey. Holy Father who art in heaven, I revere you. But why do you create them? Evil to the bone. Predators prey. They also pray, invoking your name. It's all a game while young lives get maimed because predators prey. My Father, I just wanted to protect you. You couldn't have known how predators prey. But that doesn't stop me going back to the day when the two of you met. His evil plan said if I could be in that room, see him starting to groom you, this man who knew nothing but love, wore his heart on his sleeve, who would never believe another human would thieve his younger son's childhood. But predators prey. Yes, Predators prey, and what would I say to push you away from his presence? Would I tell you he'll plague me all of my life? Come between everything, even me and my wife? Try to enter my body, but stop with just head? There have been times in my life I've been hung on by a thread, woke up countless mornings, feeling vacant with dread. He blew me just once, but what blows my mind, that night never ends. It haunts me over time. First it was months, then it was years, now it's been decades, and it's still causing fear. Fear to move forward, fear of success, fear to be intimate, fear to express my own authenticity, take a road to simplicity, fail to see your complicity in setting me up as that predator's prey. Enough is enough. I've let one night define me for way far too long. No span of time rights that predator's wrong. If I let myself go there, it's that old siren song that holds me back. Back to that day, back to that night, back to that choice. Do I fight or flight? I didn't do either. Just let him go down. Down on me hard. Down on my life. It's been 44 years and it's still causing strife. Still gives me nightmares. Still makes me shiver. Sometimes I just want to drink, but I've got a bad liver. That night still defines me, upends me, reminds me, because I let it. Because I fucking let it. Life is more. In 44 is too many years lost, too high of a cost. In brain cells and hours, it's time to stop giving that evil creep power. I'm gonna roar, not hold back and cower. You'll roar? Makes you wonder, what does that mean? I confess, I was raped at the age of 13. In front of this crowd, I shouted out loud, still standing proud, my dark secret avowed. It wasn't my choice, because predators prey. I'll no longer keep quiet till all predators pay. I'm coming down from this massive adrenaline high with a profound sense of gratitude that you've held space for me to lift such a massive weight. And I'm remembering my former self, especially that scared, confused teen who lied when confronted by his parents at age 15. If I tell the truth now, will they punish me for covering up such a big lie for 2 years because I'm weak and can't defend myself? Will they question what kind of boy gets molested? Dad, Mom, nothing happened. So started a life where I felt so alone as I struggled with difficult decisions. I convinced myself that nobody believed in me or wanted to help. I lost self-confidence and viewed myself as that person that gives up when things got difficult. Yet somehow, that scared boy and that self-doubting adult version of my former self held it together through many pitfalls. They paved the way for the authentic me to emerge. They could finally rest and take the darkness with them, allowing Alisha's light to shine as a beacon for others. Radiance, happiness, friendliness, joy, however you want to label it. I want you all to bask in this light with me. That shy girl who was always afraid to share her words has transformed into a fearless diva. When I speak to friends about my journey, they're quick to say, coming out at 57 took a lot of courage. When I share that I socially transitioned at work only 3 months in, they shake their heads in disbelief and commend my courage. But none of this feels courageous. Standing here, sharing my authentic self and my truth with you isn't scary. It's empowering. What takes courage to step out of routine and embrace discomfort. In October, I visited Mom in Mercy Hospital. As I walked in her room, she introduced me to her nurse. Mom, I want to talk about titles like son and daughter. I can demand your respect and insist that you call me my new name and preferred pronouns, but the title, daughter, is yours to give. It made me feel so special when you introduced me that way, as your daughter. I'm not sure if I ever thought I'd hear you say that. Mom loved seeing the happy, beautiful woman I'd become. At her age, there was nothing more important to her. She didn't want to dim my light. On some level that night, I knew I was awakening an urge that had slumbered for years, relighting a spark, confronting my fears, warding off shame and regret that could smother the flames, standing ready to take all the blame for igniting a powder keg that simultaneously blew up a 4 decades-long relationship and settled the ashes into a journey of self-love and acceptance. Shame be damned. That took some motherfucking courage. The courage for me and my wife in early 2024 to meet with a trusted marriage counselor and agree to divorce. When I hear you say that you've seen me smile more in the past 12 months than the previous 37 years we were in a relationship, I'm thinking I've become the best version of myself. But you're right. I've become the best version of a completely new person who needs to form her own relationships. I need to put in the work to build something new, hopefully with my oldest, most trusted friend, or risk losing you. As I came to the end of my first year in transition, I wondered what my world could have been. I wondered about my dad. I wondered if I hadn't lost him in 2009 to a sudden heart attack. I wish that life had played out differently, and that I had mustered the courage to express my anger and animosity while he was still alive. I wished we had more time to share together on the soft sands of Mission Beach, the spot where we formed many fond memories together. But more than anything, I wondered, what would Dad think of me, my authentic self? What would he think of Alisha now? It's January 22nd, 2022. You can restart that. It's January 22nd, 2024, the wettest January day in San Diego history. The wipers rhythmically clear my windshield, barreling down the freeway. Fighting the deluge, I race the sunset undeterred. Thankfully, as I pull up to the boardwalk's edge, the torrent wanes. Wielding my pink umbrella, I exit the car. My black dress clings to my shins as I forge against the fierce onshore flow. Today, nobody else cared to show for this daddy-daughter dance, opting for better weather or a venue less exposed. Suede boots toeing the water's edge, I intently scan west. No sun, just gray, a thick cloud hedge. Our annual beach soiree to commemorate that awful day when you passed without warning and I've never stopped mourning won't be rattled by rain. A patch clears. A distinct glow illuminates the horizon, allaying my fears. My back to the water umbrella open, breaking the wind, I pry the phone from my pocket. Unchained melody plays, hips sway, long lost memories in my mind replay. It's 1990, my wedding day. You and Grandma waltzing together, effortlessly. Will this be our special day? Leaning into the wind, I hear you say, may I have this dance? For 3 minutes and 34 seconds, you are there, watching as the wind whips my wispy hair. I reintroduce myself as the beautiful, confident daughter you are always meant to see. Your smile radiates pride, and despite the biting breeze, I feel the warmth of your presence. 15 years to the day that I lost you, I'm alarmed that the memories of us together have been fading. Today I finally understand. If I hold tight to the past, I don't let myself see the duet you and I were always destined to be. A father and daughter, slowly swaying, holding hands, gracefully waltzing on the rain-compacted sand. Sung over, wet drops in my hand. Looking up, I'm surprised there's no rain, yet tears of joy, grief, and pain have launched in the breeze from my wind-numbed cheeks. You're gone again, but I feel alive like I haven't in weeks, months, decades. 58 years in, 15 years late to the ballroom, life offers no guarantee. This I know, Dad. From this day forward, you and your daughter will share an annual dance. Together. For eternity. My name is Alisha Richard, and my poetry is an act of defiance because our authentic lives right now are an act of defiance. Our voices matter. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful audience. I thought it was going to have a hard time filling up this room at 5 o'clock. I just want to acknowledge the work that the work and the effort that Diversionary Theater has put into this show for me. I had a production that I did at the Fringe Festival in May that I thought was really good. And I worked with Wilfred Paloma. He's the outreach and education director here. And we worked about 20 hours one-on-one, just integrating the poetry and the storytelling together. It used to be sort of disjointed. So I'm so grateful for that because this is a show that I think I'm going to take on the road. And I'm going to give you a brand new poem I just wrote, or at least part of it. And I think I'm going to call, when I go on the road, I'm going to call it the Forever 57 Tour. Just indulge me for one more poem. The closing of Forever 21 is a lesson. To loosen your reliance on others' expectations, choose your own apex moment where you finally feel free to be your best self. That could be 25, 32, 43, or 68, youthful rejuvenation and not restricted to a specified date. That's why I want to remain forever 57. 57, the year I came out, the start of a chain reaction where I stopped reacting to life, started orchestrating my very existence. So much freedom and renewal, feeling truly unburdened by societal definitions, driven by a defining mantra: authenticity is forever. The authentic me shed 40 pounds in 10 months, reclaiming my health, breaking self-imposed shackles, gaining emotional wealth, while ready to tackle so many of my fears. Finding the stage, sharing my soul, facing long-repressed trauma, setting new goals. Living alone for the first time in my life, after losing my anchor, my soulmate, my wife. I could not have done this at age 21 when I lacked true perspective, organized life by what's fun. Well into my 50s and financially fit, perspective so focused, I must admit that the path to true happiness seemed clear and well lit. After a lifetime of gatekeeping, I broke down the damn wall, didn't look back, blazed my own trail, risked everything safe, began to write my own tale. Forever 57, I'm now forever free to say yes to my dreams, to always choose me. Yeah. So one last message. Don't ever think it's too late to make one small change to find your best life. Because I'm telling you, this didn't start with me saying I was trans. It started with that decision to just be a little bit happy and buy myself something fun on New Year's Eve 2022. Before you leave, if you want to, I would love to stay in contact with you and tell you about future opportunities. My friend Michelle has a clipboard in the back. If you can provide your emails, I know I have some of them, but there's people here who I didn't even expect to see here. So thank you so much for coming out. Support Diversionary. Come see To My Girls, which is playing for the next 3 weeks. And I will be moving outside so they can have more people come inside so they can check people in. If anyone wants to chat for a little bit, I'm sticking around for a little while.